Well, today we're going to look at one of my favourite ever toys as a child, and that's rub down transfers. The most famous manufacturer of these was of course Letraset. They started off making rub down lettering, which would get used for everything, used in film industry, in normal industry, and basically it was sheets of letters, alphabets, and you just rubbed it down to make words. It was a simple idea, but it was revolutionary. This is well before printers were a cost-effective option. If you wanted some printers, you had to have massive setup costs. So yeah, in my day, everything used Letraset. Fanzines, like stuff on television for the credits would use Letraset. It was amazing stuff, and they quickly realised that if they did scenes with images, kids could make their own pictures, and they were super popular. So we've got a few today. It's not a comprehensive by a long shot. They did thousands and thousands of sets and lots of different mansions, but we're just going to have a look through and have a look. So my earliest one I've got is this one, and this is the what they call Red series. They did various different series, different sizes, different costs, and these would come, you'd go into a newsagent and there would be a display box with these sort of vertical in it like that, and I can just remember you'd flick through them to find one that you hadn't got. It was just amazing as a child to get these. I loved them, and I think that's why I'm artistic today, and it's because I used to do these things. So this one's still sealed. I'm not going to open it. These things are rarer than hen's teeth, and sealed ones are just incredibly rare. Because the thing with these, you've got to remember, is once you use them, kids, they would get chucked away. Your parents would come in and chuck them away. Very few have survived. It's one of those toys where as soon as it was used, it was ruined. So they just haven't survived that much. You can still pick them up. I think I picked this one up for about £8 on eBay. It's not the most exciting one. They did lots of sci-fi stuff and monsters, and this is a circus with hideous comedy clowns. So what happened is you got a background image, usually very nicely painted, but in a completely different style to the transfers. And then so in this one you can see you've got a sheet of different transfers, and it always, I love this, they showed you on the back what you got, so you knew exactly what was happening without opening it. And these are the actual transfer sheets, so really nicely printed. It's 1968. I didn't realise it was that early. So 1968, same age as me, except it's in mint condition and I'm not. There's a risque lady there. A tiger. Tiger? Yeah, it is tiger. I think leopard. No, it's definitely a tiger. So what you do, you position the image you want to transfer, rub it down with a pen, pull it off, rub it down with the backing sheet just to make sure it doesn't come up, and you would end up with your own unique sort of image. You could put it on the wall, put it on the fridge, put it in the bin. That's what happened to most of mine. I remember buying these on holiday because they were like 10p, but superb. So this range with this sort of style went on for quite a while. Certainly in my childhood, this was the version available, and then they changed things up a bit, and this was a later one, and they changed it so it's still Letraset Action Transfers. You see it's the same image, but then they're called rub-ons, which is a really terrible name. Not very good at all. And they got a bit more simple. So this one is open. In fact, most of the other ones I've got are open, so you can see it. So this one comes with, so you see, again, you can see the background image, you can see a transfer sheet, and then instructions. So you peel it off, rub it down, and there was various different sets. These ones were much simpler. So you got things like Dam Busters, Killer Wolves, and this one is not got a date on it. I imagine this is mid-70s. Certainly looks that way. So what you got was a big old background, nasty Germans, and then you got a transfer sheet, and as time went on you got less and less transfers. Okay, you compare that to what you got there, much smaller, much less detailed. and they went onto this really weird shiny stuff, shiny paper. So what you'd do, you'd position your little man running across, take the backing paper off, the tissue paper, rub it down on a hard surface. Pencils were best. Pens used to dig in to this stuff, and then use the backing paper to rub it down to make sure it's sealed, and you'd build up a lovely image. You could recreate films and things. It was great. I'll just pop this one away. And then they realised that about sort of midway through, they realised that there was money in licensing. So they would do things like Kevin Keegan's Action Replay. I remember these came in little boxes, and even though I had no interest in football, still have no interest in football, I would buy these just for the Letraset. So you got a very simple background, very simple set of transfers, and you would, I mean, that even shows you where the ball goes, and you would build these up. And they did like Olympics and different sports, hockey. And again, I used to buy them. I have no idea who these teams are. I vaguely remember Kevin Keegan because he had a massive perm. But these ones you can pick up pretty cheap. I think I picked up the whole set for about a tenner, plus some swapsies on eBay. Not the most exciting of things. They also then went into television and film licenses, which is where we obviously got most of our interest. So this is one I picked up recently. This was a Space 1999. They did 2 sets for this. They did a Doctor Who set, Star Trek set, Kojak, loads of superheroes, and these are really rare because you've got both Letraset collectors and TV collectors, you know, buying these. So I managed to pick up the sheet. There's no background. I'm going to have to try and print a background, but look at the artwork. It's amazing. So you've got Eagles, you've got Helena Russell, and I love these movie ones because they always, you could work out who was who. So you've got Koenig there, there's Dr. Bergman as well. There he is. Look. Where's he gone there? Great images. I used to have so much fun making these. I had almost all of these sets. I wish I still had them. They're worth a fortune. Then a little bit later on, they did things like the Black Hole and Battlestar Galactica, because what had happened in the meantime, of course, Star Wars hit. So Star Wars hit. Letraset did several ranges of Star Wars. They did this sort of size. They did a 3 set of this sort of size. They did smaller ones, so more like the ones we saw here. And these are the transfer sheets from a few of those. And I think they did 12, something like that. And it did the story of Star Wars. So these, you can see the artwork is just, we're going to focus, it's just gorgeous on it. Stormship. So this was the attack on the, is it a Tantive V? Tantive 5 at the beginning. So that, I think it tells us what set it is. And then this one was the Mos Eisley set. So you've got Han, a load of Jawas, Luke doing some sort of weird hand symbol there, being rude, I think. They obviously couldn't draw, or perhaps they didn't have the likeness to Alec Guinness. He probably went, nope, you're not having that. And these were all done very early on, so like none of the weapons are accurate or anything like that. And then this was from, I think, the last one, which was the Death Star attack, so it's all just ships. Look at that. Again, no backgrounds. Gonna try and get hold of them. One I have got a background for, they did a set of 4 Battlestar Galactica. I love Battlestar Galactica. I went to cinema to see it, I think, about 18 times one summer. There was a special offer on. And these were the same as the TV ones. So you got this big background. I mean, at the time these seemed huge. And they folded out so you could see the different sets you could get. And these were unusual in that you got 2 images and 2 sets of transfers per set. And you can make a cardboard Viper. That would ruin it, wouldn't it? And look, that's how big the Galactica is. So you've got 2 sets of transfers plus some stickers, transfers for your Viper. Lovely artwork again, really nice. This was about the point where Letraset was starting to get a bit cheap with their artwork. So it's sort of the tail end of the detailed work. So it's still detailed, but not quite as detailed. So you've got all these different ships. Hardly any of them appeared in the show. And then you've got 2 big backgrounds to put them on. This, unfortunately, this is the most boring of the 3 sets. The 4 sets, sorry. But I'm happy to have it. Again, eBay purchase. And again, I used to have the set. They did set series from the Black Hole, which is super rare. I wish I could get them. Let's pop this over there. I'll put all these away later. Then they realised, of course, that licenses were expensive, so they thought anything space will sell. They were probably right. And they did these ranges called White Squadron Space Adventures. And it was a series of generic scenes and generic bad guys and heroes, and it made their own story. I remember buying these. Look at that, 29p. Is it gonna 29p from WH Smith's. They're again sealed, so I'm not going to open this one, but I remember getting this set because it glowed in the dark. They were really really lackluster images though. You can see it's just very you compare sort of the 2 different images, there's just so much detail missing. I don't know who half the artists were. I wonder if anyone knows that. Then obviously in the early 80s they bought the ET license, so you had things like ET. This one is open. So these were again very cut down, very simplistic. Look at the artwork is so simple on it. It's come off its backing sheet, but that's okay. Ironically, it could do with some glue. So you would position, I don't know where he would go that would fit any of this size in, but I suppose he could be sat on a table if you want, and you'd rub them down. So they did, I think, 4 ETs. Quite hard to get hold of the ET ones. They usually half started as if people started them and went, well, that's boring, and gave up. They also did innumerable Walt Disney ones. So I got a couple of these, and these are the Panorama series. I think it's Panorama. So this is Lady and the Tramp. So again, always add little extra toy features on. This is Thomas Salter, but it's actually Letraset. It went under various names. They made stuff for different people, but still Letraset. So you got a really big, nice, colourful background and some decent size and decent artwork images. So this is probably mid-70s. I can't see a date. No date, but yeah, probably about mid-70s. So still doing some quality work. Oh, 78. There we go. So late 70s. And then this one is Snow White. I was never really into these Disney ones because they're a bit dull. The dullest set they ever did, they did one called, I think, Endangered Species or Wild Animals, and it was just animals. So again, healthy set of transfers. I've got some modern Disney ones I got from a boot sale. I'll show them as well. In fact, I won't show you the lot, but there was this. I've got hundreds of these. They were selling them at a boot sale at I think 20 packs for £1, so I just bought them all up. And these are all Disney's, and they're called pressers. So you get them in places like Hobbycraft and The Range, and they're rub down transfers. So I gotta love them. I love me some transfers, but they're just shonky. So you got one terrible drawing, and the idea was you'd probably use these on your, you know, your books and things. The printing is just terrible. I don't know if you can see. It's almost newsprint made up of dots. So I got just hundreds of them. Bambi, Snow White, modern things like Aladdin, an old passport and photo of myself. Is it an embarrassing? Oh, it's back when I looked like a drug dealer. That's good. So yeah, so that you can still pick these up, but they're not great, and the transfers just don't work very well. So that's sort of a Letraset one, and then there was various stuff they did for promotions, because they realised pretty quickly that these rub down transfers, they made great things to put in like breakfast cereal. So this one is Scotch porridge oats, for anyone that remembers when kids were still eating porridge. And this is Super Scott. I love that he's got a transistor radio in place of a sporran. Ooh, that just sounds awful. So again, Letraset, and there was 3 different ones. I've only got 2 of these, and these would come in the breakfast cereal, and it's actually quite a nice set. So not the greatest artwork in the world. Looks like a white gorilla or something. Possibly slightly racist, I'm not sure. And then you got a little background. So this one was Super Scott in the jungle, and then this is Super Scott in Atlantis. This is hilarious because you've got underwater Scott, so he's got tartan flippers, lots of enemies. I would love these as a kid. I vaguely remember them. Look at that, that's straight out of 20,000 Leagues. Always on the lookout for the 3rd one of them. They also did stuff that they gave away on comics and magazines, so you probably remember the Doctor Who Weekly. In the first 4 issues you got a load of transfers, and then Letraset. So you got like lovely Tom Baker one, dinosaurs, classic TARDIS. The ones that came in the Doctor Who Peter Davison Easter egg, I don't think were made by Letraset. They're not up to the same standards, and it's listed as Linstead Park Enterprises, so I don't think that's Letraset. These ones though, so these were, I think, for some breakfast cereal. These were definitely Letraset. They've got the action transfer, so these were like kids doing sports. A bit boring. For some reason I got a huge amount of the cycling one, which is not very exciting. Breakfast cereal Shredders used to do they used to do loads. They did Superman, various different ones. This is ET, so you'd, on the back of the box you'd get a scene and you get transfers. And the interesting thing about the Shredders ones is it didn't match the transfers with the image that you got on the box, so you'd get random, but you could sort of use them on everything. I got some more in here, so sherbet fountain for some reason. So Superman 2, I remember them very well at the time. Absolutely loved them. Then you've got, they did Battlestar Galactica. Some really nice images. I got quite a few of them. And then of course the one, I think these were for, I want to say, I think it was Shredders. Might have been the multi ones, but these are breakfast cereals. These are Star Wars. And these are wonderful. Again, very simple. They didn't have Alec Guinness's permission, I don't think. And Chewbacca looks like a vaguely hairy monkey. Look at the tie. Is that a TIE bomber? That's weird, isn't it? But they're great. I again love them. You never get the boxes. The boxes are worth like 10 times the transfers now. Again, eBay purchase. Get the right place at the right time. There were a lot of people making their version of transfers, and the best known, Kalkitos. This was a European company, had amazing telly adverts, and when these came out I remember buying loads of these, and they sort of felt a bit of a step up because it's in a foreign language, but exactly the same idea. You can, I think Kalkitos is still going. You can buy like packs of Christmas cards with rub down transfers in Kalkitos. So you get a little I don't know what it is, so you can recognize different battleships, but same idea. You got a nice background, really detailed transfer sheet. Remember them being very high quality. They stuck really well. I love Kalkitos. They had lots of licenses like asterisks and stuff they did. So Kalkitos was probably about the best of the non-Letraset transfers. Then you had like this. So this is Salter. So this is Letraset, but this was sort of 82, 83, and the A-Team stuff. Almost all the A-Team merchandise was really shoddy and badly put together, and this is no real exception. So we're into the world of being cheap. This is open somewhere. Oh, perhaps I just opened this one. Yeah, I opened this one. So we're into the world of the cheap background, slightly shiny, which is terrible for rubbing the transfers down on. and that just folded out like that. And then you've got a transfer sheet just stuck inside with very few transfers on, and really not the greatest artwork in the world. I mean, that looks more like Benny Hill when he played Mr. T. So yeah, not the greatest merchandise in the world when they, and I think the Salter, when they did the Salter range, it was because it was a bit lower quality. They probably did it cheaper. You're not paying for that Letraset brand. I may be wrong. I'm sure someone knows the history of it. So there's a couple of Letraset, a couple of 18 sets. They did box sets. They had, pick them up cheap if you can, but I wouldn't pay a lot for them. The cheapest was Rainbow Toys. And this is, I mean, Dempsey and Makepeace. Were there many kids that were into Dempsey and Makepeace? Although doing this Barber. These are open, I think. Yeah, I opened this end. And the transfers in these are just so poorly drawn. So you get a nice amount of background. Again, shiny. Terrible for these things. But look at the artwork. It's like a 5-year-old's drawn it. It's so bad. I mean, that's Glynis Barber. Really. You can pick these Dempsey and Makepeace ones up pretty cheaply. Oh, look at this. Look, it's got. So look, you got a data sheet for the Ford Granada 2.8 GL. I used to have a Ford Granada. It's got automatic choke. Ooh. Ford Escort Cabriolet. Can't remember what the images are on this one. No, it's in a double bag. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, so it's a heist one. So again, like they just couldn't do the faces. They're always back to the camera. Look at this. It's awful. Shoddy work. But like I say, pick them up really cheaply. And you can still get, I'm happy to say, you can still get transfer sets. So I picked this one up, this brand new stock. I got this one from, is it Borders, the bookshop? Yeah, Borders. So this is same idea. So you get a transfer sheet. I don't know who makes it. Must be their own make. And it opens up. So you get a really large background. Very sort of Gerald Scarfish artwork. But a healthy set of transfers. So really nice. And then the other one that you might have seen is these sets. And they're made by West Air, and I think they're designed for museums and school trips and things like that, because they're always historical stuff. And what happens is, I've done this one, great fun to do, but again, shiny, they never learn. Make it matte, works better. And this one's Vikings, and I think this one was Siege, so I'm halfway through this one. So what you would do is position it, scribble, 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 and away you go. And you can pick these up pretty cheaply. So you've got Trench Warfare. I think these are about £3 each, and they're still readily available. T-Rex, Gladiator. This is scribbled down again, so the same as the big one. This is the monster one. I picked it up because it had a Frankenstein monster in, but not greatest artwork. Battle of Britain for the West Air stuff. It's quite a nice one, that. Very reminiscent of Letraset. So these are worth looking out for. Again, you can pick these up brand new. And then I was in Spain and picked these up from a bookshop. And these are same idea, but not a lot of branding. But look at that artwork; it's really nice. Obviously computer done, but really lovely shading. And I picked up everything they had. They're actually made in Germany, so I made it across to Spain. So you got a castle, space ones. So rubdown transfers, still a thing. Well worth picking up. Such fun. I can't imagine kids these days getting much joy out of it, but I love them. I will always pick up a rubdown transfer when I see one. I've got lots of other stuff. So like. These are not Letraset, but these are a Jurassic Park set that came with Christmas crackers. It's mad. Christmas crackers. Quite nice images. And each cracker had one in. So yeah, always keep an eye out for them. But I hope that was interesting and brought back some memories. Or if you're young enough that you don't remember them, go and get yourself a set of these and just have some fun. I think my favourite of all of these, other than the Star Wars and the Galactica ones, is that really old one. Where's it gone? The first one. This. Because that I remember having. I always have this little fancy where I go to a second-hand shop and they've got a stock box full of these. Well, it's never going to happen. A stock box for the Action Transfer big TV ones actually came up on eBay recently. £995 for a cardboard box. Nothing in it, no transfers in it, just the box. Because again, not survived. But if I ever see one, if you've got one and want to sell it to me really cheaply, that would be good. But thanks for watching. Let me know if you remember Action Transfers and what sets you had. What were your favourites? Do you still have them? Do you still have them on your wall? That would be amazing. I'd love to have the ones I had as a kid. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you can. Most of my viewers aren't subscribers, and a subscription does help the channel. And thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Thanks then. Bye.